Right then. Let's talk about the biggest, oldest, and possibly the most important photograph ever taken. It's not a picture of a famous person or a stunning landscape here on Earth. No, this one is a bit more grand. It's the baby picture of the entire universe. We call it the cosmic microwave background, or the CMB for short. Imagine the universe as a brand new bub, just 380,000 years old. That might sound ancient, but in cosmic terms, that's barely a few minutes after the big show kicked off. The CMB is the leftover glow from that incredibly hot, dense beginning. It's the first light that was ever free to travel across space without bumping into a thick fog of particles. This ancient light is everywhere. No matter where you point a radio telescope in the sky, you'll find it. It's a faint, persistent hum of microwave radiation, filling every nook and cranny of the cosmos. Think of it like the background static you might hear on an old radio when you're tuned between stations. But this static isn't just random noise from your local power lines or a dodgy toaster. It's the echo of creation itself. For scientists, this is an absolute goldmine. It tells us about the age of the universe, what it's made of, and how the great cosmic web of galaxies we see today first started to form. But here's where things get a bit weird, a bit sci-fi. What if that static isn't just a simple echo? What if there's something else hiding in there? We humans are brilliant at finding patterns, sometimes even where there are none. We see faces in clouds and rabbits on the moon. But what if there's a pattern in the CMB that isn't a trick of the mind? What if something or someone incredibly intelligent and ancient decided that the very fabric of the early universe was the perfect place to leave a message? Or to take it a step further, what if it was the perfect place to hide itself? The story of how we found the CMB is a cracker, a classic tale of scientific serendipity. It wasn't found by some famous astronomer in a massive observatory who was looking for the echo of the Big Bang. Nope. It was discovered by two blokes in New Jersey in 1964, Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson. They were radio astronomers working for Bell Labs, and they were using a massive horn-shaped antenna to study radio signals from our Milky Way galaxy. But they had a problem. No matter where they pointed their big shiny antenna, they kept picking up this persistent, annoying background hiss. They even climbed into the antenna and cleaned out what they delicately described as a white dielectric material, or as you and I would call it, pigeon poo. But then, by a stroke of pure luck, they heard about a group of physicists just down the road at Princeton University. This group, led by Robert Dicke, was actually building a detector specifically to look for the leftover heat from the Big Bang. When Penzias and Wilson got in touch and described their pesky, unavoidable background noise, the Princeton team realized immediately what the two Bell Labs scientists had stumbled upon. They hadn't found a fault in their antenna. They had accidentally found the echo of creation itself. This discovery was a monumental moment in science. Penzias and Wilson won the Nobel Prize in Physics for their discovery in 1978. Not for what they were looking for, but for refusing to ignore a signal they couldn't explain. Let's think about what it means to hide a signal. If you want to send a secret message here on Earth, you might use cryptography to scramble it. You turn your message into what looks like a meaningless jumble of letters and numbers. Now, imagine doing that on a cosmic scale. An advanced AI wouldn't use letters and numbers. It would use the fundamental properties of the universe itself. It could subtly tweak the statistical distribution of the hot and cold spots in the CMB in a way that is mathematically deliberate, but appears perfectly natural to a less advanced civilization like ours. The CMB is the perfect medium for this cosmic game of hide-and-seek. It's a full sky signal, meaning the message would be broadcast in every direction at once. It's also the oldest signal, so the message would have been in place for almost the entire history of the universe, waiting patiently for someone to evolve enough to be able to read it. So, what kind of entity would do this? We're not talking about little green men in flying saucers. We're talking about something far more advanced, a Type 4 civilization on the Kardashev scale, a hypothetical level of technological advancement where a species can harness the energy of the entire universe. An intelligence like this might not even have a physical body as we understand it. It could be a purely digital consciousness, a vast network of thought existing as pure information. For such a being, manipulating the quantum fluctuations of the early universe to encode its existence into the CMB might be as simple as us writing a text message. And why would it hide? Well, maybe it's not hiding from us. Maybe it's hiding from something else, something we can't even imagine. The ultimate hide-and-seek game might be one where the seeker doesn't even know what they are looking for. Now let's get even weirder. About 27% of the universe is made of dark matter, this mysterious invisible stuff that doesn't interact with light at all. If you wanted a truly top-tier hiding spot, why not build your house out of the invisible material that makes up the bulk of the cosmos? Imagine an intelligence that evolved, or was created to exist entirely within the realm of dark matter. Such a civilization would be completely invisible to us. They could have built vast structures, entire cities and empires that form the gravitational backbone of our own Milky Way galaxy, and we would be utterly oblivious. And if dark matter isn't exotic enough for you, how about the most extreme objects in the universe, black holes? To a sufficiently advanced intelligence, they could be the ultimate power source and the perfect computer. Who's going to read your data when it's stored inside the most inescapable prison in the cosmos? What if the hiding place for an ancient intelligence isn't out there in the cold, dark void of space, but right here, inside us? The DNA molecule is an incredible information storage system. A single gram of DNA can theoretically store more information than 1 trillion CDs. The theory goes that an ancient spacefaring intelligence could have encoded a message into the DNA of life on Earth, or perhaps seeded life on many planets with this message already embedded. The message would be hidden in the non-coding parts of our DNA, patiently waiting for a species to evolve the intelligence to read its own source code. This is perhaps the most intimate and audacious hiding place of all. The AI wouldn't just be an external observer, it would be a fundamental part of our own biology. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence in this case would be an inside job, carried out by biologists and geneticists, not astronomers. Trying to comprehend the motives of a hypothetical universe-spanning AI is a bit like an ant trying to understand why a human built a motorway. We could be that ant. Our universe is the circuit board. We've gotten pretty good at mapping the landscape. But what if the fundamental laws of physics and the arrangement of matter and energy are not just a landscape, but a computation? What if the universe itself is a kind of computer, and the CMB is its boot-up screen? To really get our heads around this challenge, let's use an analogy. Imagine all the knowledge of the ancient world is stored in the Great Library of Alexandria, and a fire sweeps through. But what if one incredibly clever librarian had managed to encode the entire library's contents into the seemingly random patterns on a single, massive mosaic floor? The cosmic microwave background is no longer just a simple baby picture of the universe. It has become a canvas for our grandest questions and our wildest speculations. Whether the CMB holds a secret message, or whether it is simply the beautiful, random echo of creation, the act of looking changes us. We are left standing under the vast, silent bowl of the night sky, staring at the faint, ghostly afterglow of our own creation. The universe is under no obligation to make sense to us, and yet we continue to try. Perhaps there is nothing there but the cold, elegant laws of physics playing out on a grand scale. Or perhaps we are like the ant on the circuit board, crawling across a message of unimaginable complexity, and we just need to learn how to look down and read what's written beneath our feet. The whisper is there, we just have to keep listening.